Hello everyone, here from the country of Algeria in North Africa. This is going to be a new country for us and our first day exploring. So right now we're in the capital of Algiers. We arrived here yesterday, and Algeria is a bit of an unknown country in North Africa, especially compared to its neighboring countries like Tunisia, Morocco, and even Egypt on the North African coast, which are major tourist destinations. So in this video we're going to be showing you around Algiers, and we're also going to be providing some information about the visa and the currency exchange, which are two pretty complicated things here. And we're staying in the center. This is called the Post Hotel. It's just $31 a night. Got a pretty good balcony view here. So you can see already how incredible the buildings look around here. So Algeria was ruled for about 132 years by the French. So you have all these French style buildings everywhere. And the hotels are a really great deal, isn't it?
Yeah. We're in a very good location, as you mentioned, a very touristic part of Algiers. And we also have breakfast included in that price, so it's really affordable.
So first we'll mention about the visa to come here. So that's also one of the reasons that it's not a big touristic destination, because you can't just simply come here. You have to usually send your passport to an embassy. Both me and Carol did that in Brazil. I used my Brazilian passport, but yeah, we had some problems, didn't we?
Yeah, so we did it last year. So on the website, it was saying that it was supposed to take up to 4 weeks. So we sent the passports, and the people from the embassy, they were really nice. They were always answering my questions, so that was good. They were helpful. The problem was that it took over 4 weeks. So we had a trip planned in the 6th week. So we got worried that we would miss our trip, and then for some reason we couldn't contact the embassy. So we were sending some emails, and then Chris said, oh, let's send them an email saying like urgent, and that's when they replied. And then they quickly sent the passports back to us, but it was like 3 or 4 days before our trip, so it was a bit scary.
So we're starting off right on the coastline. The hotel that we're staying at is just like less than a minute walk to get here. Got this really cool elevator. It was open yesterday. Right now the gates are closed, maybe later on. You can see it's also a big port. Got these massive ships. There's another one over there. It really does feel like we're in Europe, doesn't it?
Yeah. It reminds of a bit of Lisbon because it's kind of hilly.
Yeah, you can see the hills in the back.
Yeah,
Lisbon's like that.
But also there's a feeling of Paris. So it's a mix. And it's funny because this elevator here, it really reminds of an elevator that we have in Brazil, in Salvador, Le Bahia. And it's just really similar to this.
Yeah, we've been to that elevator before. Yeah, it's kind of this style too. A quick intermission to talk about the sponsor of this video, Surfshark, which is our recommended VPN provider that we've been using for the past 4 years.
As we are constantly jumping from place to place, we are always using public Wi-Fis in airports, restaurants and other places. That's why we use Surfshark to be able to have a private connection, keeping our personal information and sensitive data safe from potential hackers.
Apps and websites that we use to book things like hotels, flights and car rentals may change the price depending on the country that we are booking from. We recently had this happen to us when renting a car in Houston in the US. When we set our device's location to Guatemala, it was cheaper than if our location was set to the US. By using Surfshark, you can change your device's location to check for the best prices.
We also use Surfshark VPN to avoid online restrictions. While traveling to different countries, sometimes we face situations where some sites are not accessible, but with Surfshark we can avoid this problem.
With just one single Surfshark subscription, you can connect unlimited devices for your entire household. Go to surfshark.com/jumpingplaces for 4 extra months of Surfshark, and that also includes a 30-day money-back guarantee policy. So now we're at Martyrs Square, which is one of the popular hangout places. Right now it's winter, so I think there's less people around. This is why it reminds me of Lisbon, this part here. I think it's also because all the buildings are white, like a lot of the ones in Lisbon. Got a really nice mosque. That is called Jama el Jadid from 1660, and it's a Moorish style. We can kind of see that from the minaret there. We've been seeing a lot of Moorish style mosques lately and buildings. There's even an archaeological site at this square. There's no information though, I guess they're still working on it. I know all the Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Romans were around here, just like in Tunisia and Morocco. And this part here is the Casbah district. We're not going to enter right now, we're going to enter later on. We want to walk around the waterfront a bit more. Absolutely beautiful mosque here. I think it's called Kechawa. It's Ottoman and Moorish style, so very different to the mosques that we've been seeing lately in North Africa. It's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful mosques that I've ever seen. I really love the pastel color and also the green colors, and the designs is really beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a green turquoise with obviously the sandstone. That's from the 1700s. So we're making our way down to the harbour now. I don't think I've ever even seen that filmed in a video. Got this historic looking gate here, stone gate. Oh, it's actually in English, that's cool. You don't see a lot of things in English here. Bab Zira is one of Algiers' ancient gateways. It opened onto the sea. Its location facing the seafront put it in almost constant confrontation with cannon fire. Following the French occupation, the gate was demolished. I don't know if this means it's a reconstruction or just a part that survived then. Yeah, because a lot of people here don't speak any English, do they?
No, we've already met some like guides.
They were really cool.
Yeah, so we spent like, I don't know, 20 minutes talking to them.
They wanted pictures with us.
Yeah, first they were speaking in French to us, asking if we wanted to go to the Casbah with them, but then we said, oh, we don't speak French pretty much, and then
they spoke no Portuguese, no Spanish, no English.
So it was like we were trying to communicate, but we were able to communicate, and they were just so happy that we were here, and they just wanted to talk to us. And usually when we are talking to guides,
they just want money.
They want money and
but
stuff.
Not here.
No, they were just happy, and they wanted pictures with us, and it was like very nice.
They wanted to know about Brazil too.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
cool. So now we've come to a place called the Rey's Palace. It's 200 to enter. So this is right next to where we were before really. We didn't walk very far. Beautiful on the inside. Lots of photos here. It's all in Arabic and French, I think. I'm able to get some information on Wikipedia though. constructed originally in 1576 during the Ottoman period in order to reinforce the means of defense of this side of the Medina. In this room there's lots of pictures about the war. I'm guessing it's the war of independence against the French. They also had a really bad civil war here in the 90s, but now everything's been calm ever since. I think that ended in 2002. Yeah, this will be the War of Independence from the dates.
1959.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a really terrible war from what I read. Casualties ranging from around like 500,000 to over 1 million people. Really deadly war. We actually watched a film called The Battle of Algiers. Probably watched it about 5 or 6 years ago. But it's a really, really good film. I think it's a Algerian-Italian film. But it's all about the War of Independence, so definitely recommend watching that. Even got pictures of Che Guevara here. We did see Che Guevara named in some places around Algeria, I think.
Yeah, there was a restaurant around here.
Called Che Guevara. Yeah, so he visited Algeria, 1963. So we always see this kind of construction in Ottoman places where you have like a second or third floor that sticks out. You see down there even more. A lot of the balconies are like that as well. The Ottoman style balconies. Man, I just love seeing these tile designs everywhere in North Africa. Never gets boring. There is also an outdoor part here where you can see the beautiful Mediterranean coastline once again. Even more cats here. Been watching our videos from North Africa, you'll see that we've been meeting cats absolutely everywhere. Continues in Algeria. And there's a little beach, you can go down to it. It's like a historic lighthouse there at the end. We were trying to go down to the harbour and walk around, but I think it's kind of like a military navy area. So we weren't allowed in, there was some soldiers there. But I think there is also a museum there, but you saw it's only open on Tuesdays, so maybe Tuesdays you can go through.
Yes, that's what I read.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Admiring the coastal views. So we come to some more beaches now. It's all under construction though. They seem to be doing some sort of nice walkway. So it goes on for quite a long time, probably like 10 minutes that way. So everything under construction. Get some good views from here though. So that up there is a church that we might visit at the end of this video. Notre Dame d'Afrique. It was built during the French time. Yeah, beautiful views. I didn't actually know Algiers was like so hilly like this. So really nice. So here's a nice quiet place to talk about the money confusions in Algeria. So just before we were coming here, we were checking online about how we'd get money out, just like we do in every country. And usually when we arrive, we just use the ATM with our credit card, debit card, international one. And yeah, then we get the local money. But then we found out that the majority of the ATMs here don't even accept international credit or debit cards. And even a lot of the businesses here don't accept cards. I think even sometimes even the local cards, right? Not just foreign cards.
Because apparently Algeria is mainly a cash society. So I was talking to some car rental companies, and they were like, "Oh no, we do not accept cards." So we were like, "Oh my God, we don't have cash, or we don't have enough cash for our trip." And this was like 2 weeks before we arrived, and we were like, "Oh, what we're gonna do?"
And then that leads to problem part 2. So here has a situation that we've been through before in both Lebanon and Argentina, where there's 2 different exchange rates. So there's the informal one, which pretty much everyone uses inside the country when doing like cash exchanges. And then there's the government one, which happens when you're gonna use your card, or if you use to get money out, I guess, at a bank, which is 40% higher. But the informal one that everybody uses within the country is supposed to be the more like accurate value of the actual currency of the dinar. And then for some reason the government have put the other one 40% higher. So even if we were to use it, we'd be paying 40% extra for absolutely everything.
Yeah, so we were very confused about it, and we're actually gonna be in Algeria for 3 weeks. So if it was just like a week, I think we would just accept that we're paying 40% more. But for 3 weeks and renting cars and stuff, it was a big difference. So we would lose a lot of money.
So we ended up having to do something crazy. From Tunisia, I got a return flight to Rome just to get out euros, because we didn't have any cash to exchange, which is basically what you need here. So I basically just got to the airport, got money out, and then returned to Tunisia before coming here. So yeah, pretty crazy story. And then once you get here, you just have to exchange with some of the locals. So the hotel that we're staying at, right in front, there's all these guys there. It's kind of funny, they're all standing around with loads of cash in their hand. All day they're there. So you go there and then you just have to discuss the rate with them. There is a site online that I can show you that shows you the official informal rate and also the government's rate, so you can use that value. So all the prices that we're going to be mentioning in this video is at the rate of €1 being the equivalent of 248 dinars, because that's the deal we got. So this situation also makes planning things hard within Algeria when you're on the outside, right? Because usually you're just using like booking.com and Airbnb, sites like that, but you can't use those because you have to pay with your card. So Carol's just usually finding hotels like on Google Maps and then trying to find the contact details. So she did that for the car rental and the hotels, and then you speak with them and then it's fine. You just book like a reservation and then pay when you get there. A lot of these places don't even allow paying with cards, so yeah, that's just how things work. But once you got it figured out and it starts to make sense, it's not so bad. Like we said, we went through the same situation in Lebanon and Argentina, so we've been through this before. So now we're going to make our way back to the Casbah to explore properly. Just going through this park. So there's supposed to be many nice parks like this throughout Algiers. There's a big botanical garden too. I don't know if we'll make it there in this video, but at least we're passing through this one. If I'm breathing a bit heavy, it's because we're going up and down a lot of hills now.
Yeah, it's very hilly.
Yeah, really beautiful here. Yeah, I'm just loving Algiers so far. All the buildings look super nice. Cool mosques, historic places, and now this too. So we're entering the Casbah now. I did read that a lot of it is kind of run down, abandoned even, this one I think. A lot of the buildings are like that. And it's mainly residential here. Not so much for tourism. Not sure what he was saying, if he was talking to us or not. So we're just going down one of the main roads, but there's all these tiny, tight little alleyways. Wow, look at all the satellite dishes. Satellite dishes everywhere.
And today is a Friday, so I think that's why most of the stores are closed.
Yeah, when we looked on Google Maps, it seemed like Fridays was a day that things closed.
Yes.
This building has like trees growing out of it. Lots of kids around playing football. In Africa, they're completely crazy about football.
Yeah, every time we say we're from Brazil, people are like, oh, Ronaldinho, oh,
Neymar. Always the football names. Yeah, but like Carol was saying, it does seem like everything is closed today. I think usually you'd have like more stalls and shops here. So we were wanting to eat here, but all the restaurants are closed too. I'm pretty sure we'll find some local restaurant that's open. Looks like the fruit and vegetable stalls are still open though. Another gigantic mosque. So we were just saying that this area actually reminds us quite a bit of Havana now in Cuba, which is a bit like European buildings that are kind of run down or abandoned. Very similar appearance. So it seems that on Friday, sometime around midday when they're doing the prayer, all the places to eat are closed. So that's why we're not able to eat anything. I think around 2 or 3 p.m. they'll open back up. I don't think we've ever seen that in any Muslim country. I tried reading about it online, but I couldn't find anything. So I don't know if that's like an Algerian thing, or maybe it is done in other Muslim countries and we've just never noticed so far. So we ended up coming to this other beautiful place. Not too far from where we're staying either. Really nice garden. And then check this out. So that is a post office. I've never seen a post office like that before. I don't know if it's still active now, but that's what it was. From 1910. So built by the French, but as you can see they chose like a Moorish style, not really a French style. They need to make more post offices like that.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And also this park is really nice and a beautiful area.
Yeah, I love the mix of like the French architecture with the palm trees, nice and green. Got yet again another really beautiful mosque, white and golden. So we did read that some things might have been closed on Friday, but the problem is that tomorrow shows rainstorms all day, so we kind of had to come out today. We didn't want to risk it. Yeah, what a beautiful neighborhood. I think this is where the sign is.
Ah yeah, I love Algiers.
I love Algiers. So we ended up finding like a cafe that was open. We both had 2 pastries each, one with cheese and the other with tuna. We also got 2 drinks and I got a coffee, and I think it ended up being 340 dinars, which is around €1.30, €1.40. So yeah, super affordable meal. Right now we're just getting a taxi because we want to go to that Notre Dame church. Carol's just using the app. What's the name?
There are 2 apps. One is called Yassi.
Yassi.
Yeah, there's another one called Yalago. And I think there are others, but I'm trying with the Yassi one.
Yeah, that's like the Uber. I think it's showing around 300 to get there. So we're here now at the Notre Dame d'Afrique, which I believe means the Notre Dame of Africa. Obviously you have the famous Notre Dame in Paris that we visited before. Had a bit of trouble getting the taxi. The app didn't work.
Yeah, the app didn't work, and then we were trying to get a taxi just like on the streets, but all the taxis were taken already, and then we spent like almost 20 minutes just trying to get a taxi, and finally a guy accepted us, and we paid 500 dinars to come here. On the app it was showing 300.
App's always usually cheaper.
Yeah,
500 was fine
yeah,
though.
Yeah, it's fine. But we were like a bit stressed because we were like, oh, we cannot get the taxi and stuff. But then when got the taxi, the taxi guy was super friendly, as it's always happening here. Everybody that we meet is super friendly, and when you say we're from Brazil, they're like, oh, football. So it was nice.
Cheered us up.
Yeah.
And just like the mosques that we've been seeing, this is also extremely impressive. So that's from 1872. It actually kind of looks like a similar style to that mosque that we saw in Casbah. It's also like the turquoise colors. I mean, some of these even look like a more Islamic style. Seems to be a bit of a mix. Just an interesting design once again. Pretty unique. And there is a popular inscription saying, "Our Lady of Africa, pray for us and for the Muslims." Right now it's closed though. I don't know if once again that's because we're here on a Friday. I think you can enter sometimes. So you also get some nice views from up here as expected. I don't know if you can see that big tower in the distance. So that's a new mosque. That is the biggest mosque in Africa, and apparently the third biggest mosque in the world. So it is the next morning now, and we're actually going back to the Casbah district. As you can see, it's very different right now because at least everything's open. So it is just Fridays that everything closes, I think. So this would have all been shut yesterday. And we also want to buy some coats because we're going to be going to some cold regions in Algeria, some freezing regions even. So we're going to need some big coats.
Yeah,
Carol's getting one too.
Yeah, there are many stores with clothes for the winter because it's winter here. So I think it's gonna be easy to find something. We also want to find something that is not very expensive because we're not gonna be using it for a long time. Oh, it's raining.
Raining, yeah. I did mention that it was going to be raining today. That's why we didn't want to do the full video. But for the Casbah, it should be okay. So you already got some here, 1,500. I think you need a thicker one than that though.
Yeah, maybe.
Got some others here. 3,200. Get that one, Carol. 2,000.
Very, very flashy.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm getting these pants.
How much?
1,500.
Yeah, great price, right?
Yeah, they're kind of thick. It's good for the winter.
Yeah, obviously everyone's having to cover their things because of the rain. It's kind of crazy how different everything looks right now. Looks like we come to a completely different place. People are discouraged by the rain to come shopping. How much?
2,500. 205.
2500.
2,500.
500.
Algiers. Brasil. Neymar. First time in Algeria. First time in Algeria.
My brother marry Brazilian.
Ah, oui. Okay.
Your father?
Father,
Oh, brother.
Brother marry Brazil.
I think it's good.
good.
May go Brazil. Papai.
We go to Tixia.
May go. Tixdão. May go São Paulo. Wait. May go São Paulo.
You go?
Competition, judo.
São Paulo?
Yes, competition. Judo competition.
Oh, judo?
Ah, okay. Ah, nice.
São Paulo. Good.
What is it?
Hey, my brother. São Paulo.
You think it's good, this one?
Só. Après encerrado, eu jogo.
Okay.
YouTube.
Good.
La pause.
Jumping place.
Jumping places. English? I write down. Does this one look okay?
Yeah, it looks
Did
good.
YouTube, did it.
Wait.
You too. Your name?
مروان. مقدم مروان.
Marwan.
Yes, Marwan.
Okay. Try and find our channel for the guy.
يا البلو هيدا.
There we go.
Yes, abonné.
Sabone.
Yes.
Okay.
Tunisia. This is Morocco.
Next, Algeria.
Algeria,
Next.
yes.
Yeah. So that's mission accomplished for me. 2,500. Don't really know what all those guys were saying, but it was pretty funny. I think that's a good deal though. Now we just need to get one for Carol. A thicker jacket. This one's too thin, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
So you always see these colors around here, red and green. I think it's like a local football team. Speaking of football, oh yeah, there you can see the t-shirt.
It's the MCA team.
MCA,
Yeah, a local told us about that team yesterday.
the big team of Algiers, maybe.
Yeah, I think there are two main ones, and we see the other one as well, drawings while we're walking around.
The enemies.
Yeah.
So we're back in our hotel room. Carol was able to get a coat as well. Also a pretty good deal.
Yeah, 3,500, which I think is less than $20. That was our goal, to buy something that was less than $20. And this looks really good. I mean, it's comfy and kind of thick. And there's also a hood that I can put.
Yeah, it's long too.
Yeah, really good.
And we ended up having some more local food. This time it cost 2,500 overall. That was with a big soda water. And I had this dish that was with liver and chickpeas in some like tomato sauce. And then also some meatballs with the chickpeas too. And then there was this delicious rice, kind of spicy, with olives. And Carol had grilled fish. And overall, we do probably think it is easier to have a tour guide here, especially to help you with the things like money exchange or the stuff like that. And the fact that the majority of the people that we meet here, we can't really communicate with properly. Carol speaks a bit of French, so that's helped us out a lot. If it was just me on my own, I'd be pretty screwed. Occasionally, we do meet someone that's pretty fluent in English. But even when they don't speak English, they're still extremely helpful, so you can usually work it out. And we were surprised just by how many French buildings there are around here, because obviously we travel to a lot of colonial places, but usually it's just like a few blocks, like a small part of a neighborhood. But here it just seems to go on forever. It's an absolutely gigantic part that has French buildings, and it's because here was a bit different. Algeria, at the beginning it was a colony, but then after a few years France actually made Algeria a part of France. So many Europeans started settling here, I think over 1 million, not sure on the exact numbers. So it was more of like a settler colony compared to other places like Tunisia and Morocco. So that's why this area is so big and there's so many buildings, and that's why it really does feel like you're in Europe in many parts that you're exploring. But overall, we really enjoyed it. We are going to be coming back here to Algiers. We're going to go on a bit of a road trip in the next video, but then we'll be back, so maybe we'll film some more things if everything goes to plan. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, just drop a like as usual to support us. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next one.